Hello, I'm Rich, and I've been away for a little bit. It's been a little bit since my last video, and a lot of my videos are concerning recovery. And this time, I think I'd like to throw a subject out there that maybe people can relate to, or not, or at least have an opinion on, that will be encouraging to the discussion, either raise new questions or provide an opinion. This video is the question today is going to be, can a person in the public limelight, be it professional athletes or actors, be real heroes after being taken over by addiction and then battling that addiction to regain what might be their place in life? There are a lot of negative perceptions from everyday people like me, maybe possibly people who have never gone through rehab or fought addiction. Most people find alcohol and drug abuse distasteful. I don't think it's distasteful. People are doing it a lot of times for a reason. Sometimes one they're not even clearly aware of. Some sort of dysfunction in their life, or something they think they can't overcome, and that they believe that a drug or alcohol will help them cope, which is a lie to oneself. Because everything you are inside yourself, you are enough. The reason why I bring up this question is because I had a friend that I met many years ago, a guy that was a pro athlete. He was battling substance abuse both in the alcohol and drug area. He was a magnificent hockey player. His name was Bob Probert. He could fight. He had very soft hands, could score. And he battled that addiction for a long time. And my understanding is near the end of his life, he had conquered that, but he was, being a fighter in the NHL, he took a lot of blows, and there was some damage. But while he was battling his drug abuse, he had done a column in the paper speaking of his battle with alcohol and how he wasn't sure. And for me, I lost my dad at age 7. I never really had anyone to step into that mentor role. So I was kind of a lost kid, and I started drinking early, and it became a problem when I was about 19, 20. I was trying to fit in. I was trying to learn my way. And about 8 years later, I ran into Bob, and he invited me to sit with him, and for half an hour we talked, and he started the conversation asking me why I was a huge fan, and I told him I appreciated the way he played, but also it was his article about his own battles, and I was trying to get myself cleaned up too. And he was very supportive, understanding, and seemed to say all the right things, probably because he had been through rehab several times. He had more instances after that with alcohol, and then later with cocaine. And I always wished the best for him after that first meeting with him. I wanted him to find the peace in his life that we all look for, especially people who are battling alcoholism. We're trying to find something good. And my belief is that yes, you can. If you work at it, you can overcome a lot of stigmas. Bob was kind of a shy guy. He didn't throw out a lot of his charity work he did near the end of his life. He was very giving to the community. And to this day, there's still talk show hosts that denigrate him for what happened 20 years ago. And as somebody who, I call him my friend, somebody who helps you find your way and change your life. It's somebody you defend. It's somebody you stand by. Friends like that, they don't come along every day. And the other aspects, public personality, I look at guys like Rob Lowe and Robert Downey Jr., guys who have openly admitted that they had addiction problems. Robert Downey Jr., it was very public when he was going through his addiction, and people thought he would never come back. And through hard work on his own, guy's a very talented actor, and he worked his program. He straightened his life out, and now he's one of the most bankable stars. Rob Lowe, he had his share of problems with other things other than addiction, but I think it all rooted through his addiction, and he's had a rebirth in his career as well. Though he's been clean for many more years, I think he's been careful to pick and choose what he does, perhaps for family concerns, I'm not sure. But I totally respect him. To be out in the public eye like that and bare yourself to other people, and in some respect, when you show yourself as, yeah, I was messed up, other people see you as more human. Everybody can travel down that road, and I think And I think the general public is not forgiving unless you pay the price. It just seems like sometimes they will make somebody pay and pay and pay, and you have to spend years in purgatory till they'll let you back in, even though probably a lot of these people may be using that stigma. That's real stigma when you hold a mistake that essentially hurts yourself against someone, to hold them back from becoming who they are. And as a kid, it used to make me so angry when people tell me, you can't. And I would get mad. And I would do it. And that would end the you can't thing. You have to give people a chance. You have to let people get through their process. And yeah, Bob Probert suffered for many years from his addiction. Sometimes it takes having that mentor to set you on the right path. I've been fortunate to have many people enter my life and help me. Gerald Heaton, my grade school baseball coach, Fred LaPlante, high school track coach. Though I started drinking more heavily once I moved on from track, there were basic tenets of what he was preaching that are still with me. The other one was Rick Chamberlain, a job I had. He helped me develop a certain amount of professionalism. I'm not sure that at that point I was ready to be completely professional. People at Little Caesars, when I first quit drinking, people I worked directly with, Randy Wahala, the training class manager I had, her name was Sandy. Mike Ilitch was an inspiration. And then, about 5 years into my recovery, man I met before I quit drinking, Jim Valvano. I met him, and the first few years of my quitting, I struggled a bit. And he came on the very first SBs and gave his speech of never giving up. And that meant a lot to me. It was hard to lose him. I lost Bob. My dad was my hero. I lost him at an early age. I use Rocky as an inspiration, but Rocky Balboa is a fictional character. So, you know, you do what you can to create a pathway to give yourself room to grow and get strong. It was hard when I quit because no one understood, because when I quit, it was the beginning of the recovery movement. Just a few short years before, people who wanted to be treated for alcoholism had to go to a mental hospital. That probably wouldn't have been good for me. It might have been, but I doubt it. And now, in the close to 30 years I've been sober, the ground that they've gained and understanding the brain, how it interacts with alcohol, and how they treat different mental diseases. It's heartening. It's unbelievable. The work they've done on concussions and understanding that concussions can cause depression, can cause mood changes, can affect your whole life. Before, I don't know why people, it's kind of earth-shattering that people did not think that a blow to your brain could do some permanent damage. And to see different athletes hurt themselves, guys like Dave Duerson and Junior Seau, and then there's Robin Williams, who recently been revealed it really wasn't suicide. His body was dying on him. He had a rare form of Alzheimer's where he was becoming paranoid, hallucinating, and forgetful, and it was getting worse and worse. And so his choice was, I don't want to live a shell of the person I was. He was such an incredible man that he took his own life. And we're all sadder for that, but the gift that he gave us for the years he was here is still there. The memories, the laughter. My favorite role of his, and most people either haven't seen this movie or don't think the role is remarkable, but to me it is. He portrayed Dr. Sayer in the movie Awakenings. And Robin, pretty much all of his characters are known for being very manic. Well, the real life person he portrayed was someone who was very stoic, very reserved. And I thought that showed his incredible talent, and in a way, it made me think. I was early in my recovery, made me think about how something could affect a person so much that they become catatonic. And then to be reawoken decades later, and the world is not the same. The traumatic change that would occur, and then to just have it last briefly. Those people They were lost. They were lost souls, and it made you appreciate when you're not doing anything, all the wonders that are out there. You know, and we have to be grateful for the people who put it into our lives, the people that make us laugh, the people we try to make laugh because we like them so much or we love them. And before I leave this earth, I want to do something to change some of the stuff that's going on with the addiction crisis, the homeless crisis. There have to be answers. People have to be less cold-hearted. The people in charge. I know as a general rule, most people would love to see people in a home. And it is scary when you see someone who is choosing to live on the street rather than lift themselves up. Heartbreaking. I've been homeless. I've been suicidal. I've been alcoholic. I have depression. Through it all, I want to keep going. And I want to make things better for other people. And getting medicated for my depression, it's made me realize there's work in this world for me to do. I just have to find out what to do it. Important thing. Have thought and feeling for your fellow human being. Color doesn't matter. Disability shouldn't matter to human beings. Be kind to humans. Be kind to animals. Nobody deserves cruelty or to be thought of as being invisible in a room. It's important we see someone who's struggling to try and lift them up. Thank you. This has been me today.